The sun had long dipped below the horizon, and the glow from the office party's fairy lights barely cut through the dimly lit building. The end of quarter bash was supposed to be a night of celebration for the marketing team at Fitzgerald and Company. But tonight it felt off. Carmen, the loudest of the three friends, was standing by the punch bowl, loudly explaining how she had totally been underappreciated for years. I mean, they only gave me the big project after I did their research for them. Is that fair? She ranted, tossing her curly hair dramatically. Carmen was always one to make a scene, but everyone loved her for it. Next to her, the quiet and reserved Mia nervously adjusted her glasses, glancing toward the empty hallway leading to the office's dimly lit back room. Mia, with her unnerving attention to detail, had a bad feeling. She always did. She didn't want to mention it yet, but Carmen's rambles were starting to set her nerves on edge. Maybe we should. I don't know, leave soon? She murmured, tapping her fingers against the table. And then, there was Laura, the office's perfect employee, and Carmen's best friend, who had arrived in a stunning red bodycon dress, definitely the most attention-grabbing thing in the room. She looked like a mannequin in a fashion boutique, except for the way her eyes darted nervously as she sipped her drink. Come on, guys, you two are overreacting. It's just an office party, not a haunted house. She laughed, though her voice was a little too high-pitched. The setting, the office, was eerily quiet now. The sound of music and laughter from the main party room did little to mask the unnerving chill that had taken over the halls. The faint smell of something sweet, too sweet, lingered in the air. As the evening wore on, the atmosphere began to shift. Mia couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them, but every time she turned around, no one was there. The distant sound of a door creaking shut made her jump. Carmen, still sipping her punch, laughed it off. Stop acting like you're in a horror movie, continued, but the trio found themselves laughing near the back window. Suddenly, they heard a loud thump from down the hall. Carmen froze, her punch splashing all over the floor. That's it. This place is haunted, she exclaimed, pointing at the dark hallway like a scared kid. Mia's face drained of color, but Laura was still skeptical, even though her heart rate quickened. Carmen, as usual, insisted on investigating. No one tells Carmen what to do, she yelled as she marched toward the hallway. The others hesitated. But before Mia could even protest, the lights flickered and went out. The three women were plunged into darkness. Really? This is how we die? Laura whispered under her breath. It was almost comical how quickly they all went from confidence to fear. Carmen pulled out her phone to use as a flashlight. The light barely illuminated the hallway, but there, at the end, they saw it, a faint red glow. It's probably just the cleaning crew's lights, Laura said, trying to hide the panic creeping into her voice. But Mia couldn't shake the feeling that something was horribly wrong. Why's it red? She asked, her voice trembling. They cautiously walked toward the source of the glow, and as they turned the corner, they found a red dress. A beautiful, blood-red bodycon dress. Alone. Hanging on a coat rack, its fabric moving slightly, as if the air itself were breathing it in. Carmen stepped forward. It looks like it belongs in a horror movie, right? She said with a chuckle. But when Mia touched the dress, a cold shiver ran up her spine. Suddenly, the door to the back room slammed open on its own. The sound was deafening, sending all three women running toward the main party room. But as they turned back to the hallway, the dress was gone. Okay, that's it. I'm leaving, Laura said, holding her coat. But the door wouldn't open. It was locked from the inside. A voice echoed from the darkness. You should have left when you had the chance. The voice was too familiar. It was the office manager, Rebecca. The women froze in horror as Rebecca, who was supposed to be at home sick, appeared at the end of the hall, her red bodycon dress identical to the one they had just seen. But something was wrong. The dress was blood-stained. Was it Rebecca? Or someone else? The woman was grinning in a way that wasn't quite human. You didn't really think I'd let you leave, did you? She said in a raspy voice. Carmen took a deep breath, turning to Mia. Mia, do you have a plan? she whispered. But Mia was too terrified to respond. The figure in the red dress lunged toward them. It was no longer Rebecca. The woman was now unrecognizable, her face contorted in agony. Her body stretched unnaturally, as though the dress was consuming her. Carmen screamed, but then, a loud snapping sound. The ghostly figure stopped, frozen mid-motion, and the air around them turned warm and fuzzy. The temperature returned to normal as the figure's face softened. "That dress is cursed, you know," she said calmly, as if discussing the weather. "I died here." Then, the figure pointed to the dress. "It's not me you should be worried about. It's her." A figure behind the woman appeared, a man in a dark suit. "I've been waiting a long time to claim that one." Mia gasped. The backstory had been unveiled. The dress had been part of an unsolved murder mystery. Rebecca had been the last to wear it before she vanished. But here was the truth. The curse wasn't about the dress. It was about betrayal. The man in the suit was the one who killed Rebecca for the promotion he never received. The woman in the red dress was his victim, trapped in this office forever. As the air began to calm, the spirits revealed everything. Rebecca, consumed by jealousy, had killed her best friend, her colleague, who wore the red dress at their office party years ago. In a twisted game of office politics, the dress became a symbol of betrayal and death. Now, it haunted anyone who dared to stay past dark, searching for those who were blind to the horrors of ambition and competition. In the end, the women couldn't escape without confronting the truth. The office curse had to be broken. They had no choice but to take the dress and bury it. As they left the office, the laughter and relief they shared felt genuine, though still nervous. "Well, I think we're going to need a new office party venue next year, huh?" Carmen joked as they got into their cars. But as Mia glanced in her rearview mirror, she couldn't shake the thought, what if it wasn't over? The red dress still haunted the dark corners of the building, waiting for its next victim.